The Hunter. The Hunter. So as I said, I'm gonna be making way more parts of me reading the books now, because I feel bad for the people that actually want me to finish them. But I ain't gonna do daily, because I'm gonna do like a few videos a week, about, like it can be above a few. For a simple reason, really. Because some videos, even if it's 20-minute songs, sometimes it takes an hour of my day. Especially some sorts take a half an hour or an hour. So it depends on what's in the video. Even 50-minute video, 50-minute videos sometimes literally took 2 hours. But the 30-minute video takes 1 hour. It depends on what is in the video. Like reading, I just skip, read. Or I think when you're editing, it's in slow-mo. I don't know if, I feel like it's in the slow-mo. Doesn't minute is 2 minutes or 3. Or whatever. Alright, let's get to it. Our shoes scraped dusty floorboards as we stepped into the narrow hallway. I aimed the beam of light in front of us. It caught a thick nest of cobwebs hanging down over the hallway door. Watch out for spiders, Sammy, Robin warned. I couldn't see his face in the dark, but I knew he was grinning. Rooms on both sides of the hall had their doors closed. The walls were dark and stained. I moved the light along the molding near the ceiling. More cobwebs stretched out like a fisherman's net. The webs were covered with dead flies. I stopped to see if I could spot any spiders crawling through the tingles. When I turned, I saw that my friends were far ahead of me. I started to call to them, but stopped when I felt a rush of cold air at my side. Something soft and cold brushed my face. I gasped when I heard a house whispered voice in my ear. Sammy, I'm watching you. Chapter 11. A chill fear shook my body. I turned toward the voice. Robin, you're not funny, I growled. You've got to stop picking on me. No, Robin, no one there. I raised the light and spun it in a complete circle. Robin, where are you? I know it was you. I aimed the light into the corners, into the doorways. No one in sight. The tingle of cold lingered on my face. I could still hear that house raspy whisper in my ear. Hey guys! I called, my voice shrill and echoing in a long, empty hallway. Guys? My mouth dropped open. A silent cry escaped. They were gone. Vanished. The flashlight trembled in my hand. I raised it and sent a white beam of light to the end of the hall. Vanished without a trace. My mind went crazy. They were swallowed by the house, captured by the ghosts, pulled by whoever haunts this hall into an alternate dimension. Gone forever. All of them. I held my breath and forced the frightening horror movie ideas from my mind. Guys, where are you? My voice came out tiny like a little kid's cry. Then I heard voices. Someone laughed. I saw an open door near the end of the hall. A light flickered in the doorway. My overreactive imagination had struck again. They hadn't disappeared. They stepped into a room. My heart was still racing as I hurried to find them. I stepped into the doorway and stopped. I peered into the small, square room. A couch against one wall had a cushion missing and stuffing poking from the back. A low table stood at the tilt because it had only 3 legs. Stood at a tilt because it had only 3 legs. My friends were already setting up the ghost hunting equipment. Sammy had her suitcase open and was pulling out meters and audio recorders. Todd was standing up his spotlights, one on each side of the room. Someone turned toward me. Sammy, where were you? We thought maybe you decided to leave. Huh? Me? Leave? I said, just when the fun is starting? Buzzy was helping Sammy pull out her ghost hunting tools. Oops, just one problem, he said, holding a video monitor between his hands. Why didn't we think of this? No electricity in this house. Not a problem, Sammy said. These meters and recorders are all battery powered. I charged them all before I brought them. Todd let out a sigh. He shook his head. Well, I'm an idiot. Why didn't I think of it? These spotlights won't work unless I can plug them in. Robin laughed. You're a jerk. You carried them here for nothing? He gave Todd a shove with both hands. How many people in this group? I swear it was only Samik, Summer, and... I think they replaced Summer with Todd by accident. You're a jerk too, Todd snapped back. He didn't think of it either. He raised his fist and took a step toward Robin. Summer rolled her eyes. Boys, please don't fight. Summer has brown skin and we all forgot. Or was it light skin? I remember when I first read it, light skin. So I read like chapter 1 and 2. A flash of lightning filled the window, the light spilling over the room. Ghosts probably don't like bright light. I know they like the dark, Samik said. Todd scowled at her. I guess you know everything about ghosts. I know you can't plug in the lights in an old abandoned house, Samik replied. Why was this going so badly? Why weren't we getting along? It's true we weren't really friends. Buzzy and I were friends, but the rest of us, well, we were in the same class, but we didn't exactly hang out together. Miss Flake assigned everyone to this group. Maybe she didn't know that Todd and Robin hate each other. Maybe she didn't know how much Robin likes to torture me. Maybe she didn't know that Summer is in the popular girls' group and usually totally ignores the rest of us. Or maybe Miss Flake did know. Maybe she didn't care, or maybe part of the assignment was for kids who weren't friends to get along and do the work. Then why does she have Buzzy? Or maybe we weren't getting along because we were scared. Let's all pitch in and get started, I said. I know we can do this. I know we can get proof there's a ghost here. This is going to be fun, so come on, let's stop messing around. Let's do it, guys. Robin laughed. Listen to Sammy, the cheerleader. He's just saying we should get our act together, Buzzy said. Robin sneered. Big whoop. He crossed the room and snapped his fingers on my nose. I tried not to cry out, but it hurt. Buzzy grabbed Robin by the shoulders and pulled him back. Sammy is right. Let's stop fighting and do the work. Do we want to find a ghost or not? While this went on, Samik and Summer had been quite quietly working. They had set up the audio and video recorders and the meters and ghost detectors. They lined them up facing the back wall of the room. Samik took the flashlight from me and propped it against one of the meters so it cast its light on the wall. Behind us, the storm raged outside the window. Glass rattles, wind gusts roared, and rainwater pounded at the house. Sit down, everyone, Summer said. We're ready to start. Thunder boomed, shaking the house. Buzzy dropped down on the floor beside me. Is this the coolest Halloween ever? He said. I guess, I replied. Definitely the scariest, Buzzy said. I started to agree, but Robin pretended to trip over my legs and fell on top of me. Hey, watch where you're going, he shouted. I struggled to squirm out from under him. You're crushing me, I cried. It was an accident, Robin insisted. He laughed. It took us a while to settle down. We sat in a line behind the equipment, our legs crossed, hugging ourselves to try to stay warm. Samik stood, her eyes on the meter and the thermometer. I'm gonna put a thermometer as the thumbnail. Robin kept the beam of light from his flashlight steady on the wall. We sat silently. The only sound now was the howl of the wind outside and the howled patter of rain on the window. I shifted from side to side. The floor was cold and the cold seeped into my legs and my whole body. I gazed at the wall until it became a pale blur in front of my eyes. Beside me, Buzzy wiped his nose with the sleeve of his sweater. My nose is numb from the cold, he whispered to me. Hope the ghost shows himself soon. This was all your idea, I whispered back. Sammy lowered her head to the digital thermometer. The thermometer is going down, she reported. It's 32 in here. Oh, I remember what a thermometer is. In case you guys don't know, I'm gonna put that up. That's why we can see our breath, I said. Summer raised a finger to her lips. We grew silent again. The window pane rattled in the sharp blast of the wind. Outside, the purple sky had darkened to charcoal black. I counted silently to 100. I thought I might take my mind off how cold it was. Todd's voice interrupted my count. Are we having fun yet? He asked. Shut up, Todd, Robin snapped, swinging his flashlight and shining the bright light in Todd's eyes. Just asking, Todd said. He stretched his arms out, tugged his fingers together, and cracked all his knuckles loudly. Sammy rolled her eyes. Todd, give us a break. This is serious. Seriously boring, he muttered. Seriously boring. But he settled back down, and we sat there in silence again, staring at the wall and listening to the storm outside. After 10 minutes or so, someone suddenly spoke up. Suddenly spoke up. Ghost, hear my voice, he said, breaking the silence. Ghost, if you are here, we are friendly. She paused for a few seconds. Maybe she expected an answer. She stared unblinkingly at the quivering light beam on the wall. Then her voice rang out in the empty room again. Ghost, if you are here, please give a signal. 1 second later, a hollow knock from behind made us all cry out. Chapter 12. Did my heart stop beating? I think it did. I know I had to force myself to stop breathing again. No one spoke. We all felt as if we all had died in place. Time seemed to stop. The sound of that knock still rang in my ears. Silence now. Buzzy grabbed my arm. Did you hear that? He stammered. I nodded. I wasn't sure I could speak yet. But Sammy stood stiffly, arms crossed tightly in front of her. She had her eyes locked on the meter. The rest of us stayed on the floor, afraid to speak or listening hard. And then another knock made us gasp and cry out again. I jumped to my feet, but he stretched out his hand and I helped him up. It's here, Summer whispered, stepping up beside Samik. She studied the meter. We all heard it. The ghost replied to me. Another knock. Robin swung his light to the door behind us. It's coming from down the hall, I think. It's coming from the front of the house. We stood huddled together, staring at one another. Did we really want to go investigate? Finding a ghost seemed like an exciting idea, but when a ghost actually reaches out to you, it's totally terrifying. Maybe we should wait for it to come back here, I said. You know, so we can track it with our equipment. Robin ignored me. We have to prove there's a ghost, he said. It's signaling to us. It wants us to find it. I saw it. He led the way into the hall, swinging a bright beam of light in front of him. Todd, Summer, and Samik followed, keeping close together. I walked behind them, chair after chair rolling down my back. I kept my icy hands buried deep in my jeans pocket. My muscles felt all tense. My whole body was alert. A hollow knock, knock, knock made us stop in from the front entryway. The sound rose over the howl of the wind outside. It's here, Summer whispered. I can feel its presence. I forced myself to keep breathing. My heart was beating so hard my chest ached. No one moved, and Buzzy pushed past me and someone stepped up to the front door. Oh yeah, I forgot to send whatever. He grabbed the big brass knob, twisted it, and pulled the door open. And we all uttered cries of shock. Chapter 13. Misty Rogers stood there, staring back at us. Her dark hair fell in wet tingles from her hoodie, and raindrops trickled down her forehead. Her dark hair fell in tingles from her hoodie. Her down parka was soaked through. Does anyone know what a parka is? Either that or the thermometer is going to be the thumbnail. One of them. And the ones that are not going to be the thumbnail, you guys are going to have to search up on your own or ask your parents. I think a parka is one of those furry raincoats that are like yellow, and it could be red too. Sorry I'm late, she said. Didn't you hear me knocking? Leslie stepped back. Misty burst inside, shaking off rainwater. We all started to laugh. Not normal laughter. We were all so relieved. Misty tucked down her hood and struggled to push her hair back. What's so funny? We thought you were a ghost, someone told her. Misty brushed water off her eyebrows. Have you seen the ghost? Am I too late? I shook my head. You're our first discovery. Misty blinked in surprise. Sammy, you're here? We were all betting you wouldn't show. Well, you lost your bet, I snapped. Well, you lost your bet. That made me angry. Did everyone in the group think I was a coward? I was suddenly glad to be there just because I proved them wrong. We'll set up in the back, Sammy said. Take off your coat and leave it with ours. Misty tugged off her backpack, also soaked through. She pulled it open and fumbled inside. Maybe this will help us, she said. She slid out a long box. Then she let the backpack fall to the floor and she raised the lid on the box. Donuts! Robin cried. Sweet! He reached for one. Misty swung the box out of his reach. These aren't for us, she said. These are for the ghosts. I was reading this thing online and it said ghosts totally crave real food. Give me one, Robin insisted. If we each take only one, there's still a few left for the ghost. I'm starving, Todd said, baking with cupped hands. We forgot to bring any food. If we don't have a donut, we will probably turn into cannibals and eat one another. You have a sick mind, Misty said. Seriously, you need help. No, I need a donut, Todd insisted. We all began chanting, donut, donut, donut. So Misty passed the box around, and we all gobbled them up in 2 seconds. Robin stuffed the whole donut into his mouth and swallowed it in one gulp. Todd took tiny mouse bites. He said he wanted to make it last. There were 2 donuts left in the box. We carried them to the back room and placed the box in front of the video recorder with the lid open. If the ghost doesn't want it, I've got dibs on that chocolate one, Robin said. Can we stop talking about the donuts? Samik said. She checked the meter and the audio and the video recorders. It's getting late. We have to get back to work. So we dropped onto the floor again and sat side by side, gazing in silence at the wall, listening, waiting, alert to every sound. Outside, the rain slowed, but the wind continued to howl. Each time the window rattled, I shuddered, expecting it to come crashing down to the floor with glass flying over us. The glass flying over us. More silence. The meter didn't click. The temperature didn't move. Samik paced back and forth impatiently. Robin let the light from his flashlight leap around the room. Todd yawned loudly. He cracked his knuckles a few times. Did we sit like that for an hour? It seemed like 6 hours to me. My legs were stiff and my back ached. This is so boring, Todd said, breaking the silence. Seriously, Buzzy agreed. Well, just sitting around is going to be boring, so I don't understand why you guys went there to begin with. Am I right, peeps? I sighed. I think our study is a flop. I climbed to my feet and shook my left leg, which had fallen asleep. I think we should give up. Me too, Buzzy said. He shivered. I'm so cold I think my bones are frozen. I feel like a popsicle and there's no sign of any ghosts. No sign at all. Summer sighed. We know the house is haunted, right then? But doesn't the ghost come out and give us some proof? Sammy sighed too. I'll start packing up. This experiment was a total flop. What are we going to tell Miss Flake? Summer asked. We can't just go in and say we gave up. Of course we can, Todd insisted. It's not our fault if the ghost is too shy to show himself. Summer turned to face us. Should we vote? How many want to stop now and go home? Everyone raised a hand. We all began talking at once. I started to raise my hand, then stopped. I froze. My heart skipped a beat. Sammy caught her eyes on me. Sammy, what's wrong? Hold on, I said. A voice came out in a whisper. Wait, just hold on. Didn't you hear it? I think I heard it. Heard what? Robin demanded. I think I heard it, I said. I think I heard it. Chapter 14. Missy grabbed me by the shoulders. Stop repeating the same thing over and over, she said. Have you gone crazy? Maybe, I stuttered. But I heard something. I definitely heard it. She tightened her fingers as if trying to squeeze an answer out of me. What? What did you hear? A whisper, I managed to say. I slid her hands off my shoulders. You were all talking, but I heard some words, a whisper, like hissing in my ears. Robin laughed. Hissing? Maybe it was a snake. Not funny, Summer said. Hugging herself, she turned to me. What were the words? What was the whisper saying, Sammy? I struggled to remember. Just words, I said finally. I was so shocked Maybe we captured it on the voice recorder, Samik said. She moved to the row of equipment. Maybe we can play it back. This could be awesome, Buzzy said. If we recorded the ghosts, we could be famous. Robin shook his head. Why didn't the rest of us hear it? I'll tell you why. Because Sammy imagined it. You all started talking, I said. We were voting on whether to leave, and you all started talking about it, and... Quiet, everyone, Samik said. She leaned over the small, square voice recorder. Let's see what we've got here. Or the voice recorder might be the thumbnail. I don't know. I feel like everybody knows what ghost equipment is, but nobody knows what the exact ghost equipment. At the end, I'm gonna decide which one. We all huddled close. I jammed my frozen hands into my jeans pocket. I took a deep breath. Had I really heard a ghost? Samik's finger trembled as she pressed play. Silence. More silence. Soft howl in the background. The sound of the wind outside the window. I held my breath and leaned my head close to the recorder. More silence. Then crackling static. Then a terrifying hoarse whisper. You will never leave this house alive. You will never leave this house alive. Chapter 15. Let out a groan. Beside me, Misty murmured. Oh, wow. No one moved. Samik stopped the recorder. She stood over it, still as a statue. Play it again, I said. Let's hear it again. Samik pushed the button again, silence and static. And then the same terrifying whisper. You will never leave this house alive. So clear, so angry. She played it again. I gazed from face to face. We had all come here to capture proof of a ghost in the house. But now that we had the proof, now that we heard the ghost in its menacing whisper, we were too frightened to enjoy our victory. Then Buzzy let out a cry. He drove past Summer and Todd and gave Robin a hard shove with both hands. Startled, Robin staggered back and stumbled over the video recorder. Hey! He cried out angrily. What's your problem, Buzzy? He picked himself up from the floor, both fists tight at his sides. You jerk, Buzzy cried. I recognize your voice on the recorder. Don't you ever stop with the jokes? Robin's mouth dropped open. Huh? Are you serious? You recorded that whisper before you came here, Buzzy shouted. It's not funny, Robin. You scared us to death and... Shut up, Robin cried. He waved both hands in the air. Time out, okay? You got it totally wrong, Buzzy. I didn't do that. That was not me. I turned to Samik. Did Robin do it? Did he record that whisper on your dad's recorder? She shook her head. I don't see how he could. No way, Robin protested. You saw Sammy unpack that recorder. Nobody ever touched it. But as he retreated, his still accusing Robin. Todd moved to the audio recorder. He gazed at Sammy. So, if Robin didn't whisper those words, that means we have our proof. Yes, Summer cried happily. She slapped Todd a high five. We've captured the ghost. We've captured the ghost. We've proven that this house is haunted. We really are ghost hunters. So they've proven that the ghost is haunted. They captured the ghost. She and Todd cheered. Todd reached for Summer's hands and they did a short victory dance together. Misty joined in. I wasn't quite ready to celebrate. For one thing, the ghost said we'd never leave the house alive. Maybe the others were forgetting that power, but I wasn't. Miss Fake is going to freak out, Samik said. She started to pack the video recorder back into the suitcase. No, wait, I said. Can you make copies of the Ghost Whisper? Someone asked. I think we should each have a copy. No problem, Samik replied. She picked up the audio recorder. Wait, come on. Wait, I insisted. Can we listen to it one more time? Summer shivered. Why? We've heard it, Sammy. Don't you want to go home? We're all freezing to death. I motioned to Sammy. Just play it one more time. I still think it's Robin. Just one more time. She shrugged and pushed the play button. We all stood staring at the recorder. Silence at first, and the crackling static, then more static. The crackling grew louder and then faded. The recording ended. Hey! Someone was the first to speak. Back it up. What happened to the ghost voice? Samik pushed the button again. The static played, rising and falling like the wind. No voice, no whisper. I don't understand it, Samik stammered. I'm playing the same power of the recording, but the voice is gone. Summer finished her sentence. But we all heard it, Misty said. We know it was real. Gone, Summer muttered, shaking her head. And then the ghost detection meter began to click from the open suitcase. It clicked slowly at first, like the second hand on the clock. Then it picked up speed, clicking a rapid drum beat. A shadow danced on the wall, and then an animal howl tore through the room like a furious wolf. Summer and Misty screamed. Todd ducked as the shadow leaped off the wall and peeled to rocket toward him. He hit the floor and scrambled out of the way. Robin backed to the wall, his dark eyes wide with terror. The meter clicked and the shadow danced and the shrill howl rang out again. What would a furious wolf sound like? I know what a wolf sounds like, but I don't know what a furious wolf would sound like. None of my stories really have like creepy shadows, the ones I write. A lot of them, not exactly all of them. Not the wind. Not the hollow of the wind, but a terrifying cry inside the room. Let's get out of here, I screamed. Everyone move! But something held me in place. I spun toward the door, but I couldn't move, and that's when I started to feel seriously weird. Chapter 16. It started with an icy tingle at the back of my neck, a prickling on my skin. I felt different from the shivery feeling I'd had all night. And it buzzed. I could hear a soft buzz like an electric charge as the chill swept over the back of my neck. We finally got to the part where the descriptions talked about a chill going over Sammy's neck, and yet it said, well, he doesn't know it, he met the haunter. Then the cold swept down my body like an avalanche of snow. That's what it felt like. Deep snow covering me, slipping down my chest, my arms, my legs. I was too frightened to cry out at first, locked in total panic, but then I tried to call to the others and no sound came from my throat. As I struggled to signal to them, I could feel the buzzing current shooting through me. My head throbbed, began to feel heavy. I could feel it freezing, my whole head, frozen in the hollow to a block of ice. Frozen in the hollow like a block of ice. I tried to wave my arms, to get their attention, to scream, to kick, to do something. I was buried in the cold. The icy heaviness pressed down on me. The electric buzz rang in my ears. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. Okay, yeah, the electric buzz is kind of hurting my ears. It's like when you imagine it, but it doesn't actually hurt your ears, but you can hear it still. So like it doesn't actually hurt your ears. It's not actually hurting my ears, but it's like feels like it's hurting my ears. Like, yeah. I'm a snowman. I'm as heavy and cold and dead as a snowman. Where were the others? Why weren't my friends helping me? Were they frozen too? Gripped in horror, I tried to scream again, but my face was frozen hard. I couldn't even open my mouth. Chapter 17. And then suddenly, the weight of the cold slowly lifted. I could feel myself getting lighter, feel my head clearing. My vision was suddenly sharp. The room came back into focus. I blinked. I shook my head. I tossed my whole body around, struggling to shake off the remaining cold. Still stunned, I swung my arms and examined my hands. I bent my knees. I could feel the warmth slowly rise from my feet, up my legs, over my waist, my chest. I'm thawing. The cold is melting, fading away. I blinked a few more times and rubbed the back of my neck. Still cold and stiff. Trembling, I glanced up and realized everyone was staring at me. Sammy, are you alright? Fuzzy asked, hurrying over to me. You scared us. You look so weird. I cleared my throat. I felt weird, I said. All of a sudden, I... Know why you looked weird? Robin interrupted. Because you're weird. Robin, get off his case, Budsy said. He turned to me. Do you feel sick? I felt cold, I said. Cold all over. I couldn't move or anything, like I was packed in ice. It happened so quickly. The cold just washed over me and buried me. I expected them to make fun of me. I figured they'd say, same old wimpy Sammy. But they watched me with serious expressions. No one said a word, not even Robin. Let's get out of here, Todd said finally. Finally, Robin could just shut up. We don't have anything to show Miss Flake. I don't care, Todd said. He gathered up his spotlights. I'm out of here. If there are ghosts in this house, I wish them a happy Halloween. Missy and Summer helped Sammy pack her equipment back in the suitcase. What is Miss... We never got to know what Missy looked like, or did we? If we did, then that's the only character I forgot what it looks like. So, if we never did, then imagine her in a different way. Robin kept a light on them as they walked. Every few seconds, he swung the flashlight around and shined the light into my eyes, just to be annoying. He laughed every time. No one talked. What was there to say? What was there to say? Our ghost hunt was a failure. Yes, we heard a whispered voice. Yes, we saw a shadow and heard weird howls. But we had no proof. No proof at all. I was as disappointed as everyone else. But I was also happy to be getting out of that creepy house safe and sound. And pleased that I had proven to the others that I was as brave as they were. So Robin would continue to pick on me and make my life hard, but I had proven something to myself. We gathered up our coats, which were still damp from the rain. Then we hurried out the front door. Robin slammed it hard behind us. The rain had stopped and the pale half-moon hung between the clouds. The air smelled cool and fresh. The puddles glistened on the driveway as we made our way to the street. Puddles glistened on the driveway as we made our way to the street. We said very quick goodbyes. I think we were all eager to go home and get warm. Leslie and I crossed the street and headed toward our block. You feeling okay? Bessie asked. You were looking pretty strange in there. Yeah, fine, I said. I think I just caught a chill or something. It was so cold in there. Shame we didn't get our proof, Bessie murmured. Yeah, same, I said. Yeah, same, I said. As my house came in view on the next block, I was happy to put an end to this Halloween night and I'll stay in the old haunted house. I didn't realize that my life was about to change forever. Chapter 3. No, not Chapter 3. Part 3. A few days later. Part 3. A few days later. Alright, I decided to put a thermometer as the thumbnail. So, bye y'all.